afterwards. So it is Wednesday. We're running a little late. It's 11:42. So I apologize to those who were trying to get on, and I was having wonky computer troubles trying to get on. But so I just told both Rhonda and Dawn that if you guys are ever, there's Julie, if you're ever trying to get on Wednesday, it's the same link. So if I have not had a chance to go and post the link that day, it is always the same link. You just have to go back and look at a previous Wednesday. So were you having trouble logging on, Julie? Can you hear me, Julie? Hello? I don't know if she can't hear us. Julie, can you hear us? Okay. Shake your head. Did you have trouble logging on? Okay, that's weird. Now she's frozen. Okay. So I was hoping Val was going to log on so she could kind of share some recap from last Super Saturday. Randy, are you still down here?
Yeah.
You want to come in here and share any brilliance from last week's Super Saturday?
Yes.
All right. And hey, Christy. All right. Christy, did you have troubles logging on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the weather out here or what, but our computer's acting really weird. So I just asked Randy to jump in because if you don't know, he was at Cindy's Super Saturday in Columbus, and he was actually on a panel. But tell me and tell them any of your really big aha important moments that you had, or anything that stood out different from some of the past conferences.
They came at some of the stuff differently. They had several of the start group that were talking this time, which was really kind of fun. Tyler Walter talked, John talked. They were talking about the money side of it and the start group. It was all pretty much the same topic. They threw in this one guy about branding. And I think that's the one that Cindy will go back to and go, nah, I think that was too much because we were really jam-packed with time.
She was trying to cram a lot in 6 hours.
And the panel really didn't have a lot of time for questions in there, although we managed to probably go through a dozen questions or so while we were up there. And we never got to share our 30-second story. Cindy just kind of gave a quick overview of who we were, where we were coming from. And one of the good things that I think that she did do was when somebody said, what's your day look like? How much time do you spend actually doing the business? She went down each one of us and asked, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And each one of us had a different answer because we're on different stages of life and what we're trying to achieve. Now, I think all of us were at least 2-star on there. And it varied, but at least an hour a day type of thing for most of us. And it was just really nice to hear the different things. And I mentioned to them too, I said, well, it really does depend on where you are, what your goals are. And what's your life look like, life look like right now, that it really does make the difference in that area on how much time you can devote. And so you might be able to only put in 15 minutes here or 30 minutes there. And, it all comes back to be consistent, persistent and consistent. I liked Cindy's. I was really nervous. Christy, since you had gone to the one with David and Angelique Norrie, I thought that was really good with them. I thought the other presentations, I think it was Sean Mays, was good for the Ice of Body Challenge portion, but the other stuff was okay. Angelique and David knocked it out of the park. They're just dynamic speakers. In this, we had PK Smith up there, and some of you have studied with PK when we had the group coaching sessions. And I mean, PK is PK, and I love him to death. He is phenomenal, very charismatic. He always has a ton of information to share. And I had kept some notes, and my notes are right there. So
remember, this is time. Some people have a lunch break, so we need to keep moving. These are highlights.
Well, the biggest thing was he was talking about your customers. He says they're really in 4 groups, and Isagenix only recognizes 3 of them. That there's one in there that's really important that they tend to overlook in recognition. You've got your happy product users, and when he does that, he does the 2 hands and smile on their face, the happy product users, and that's 80-90% of our business. It's huge, and that's all they want, and that's great. We love those guys. And then you've got the happy product users who want to get the products paid for, and that really is a small margin in there. That you've got the 1%, and they talked about it as 2% of the business builders. He said that would be about 12,000 people that are business builders. He says, I really think it's closer to 1%, and which I agree with. I think there's only about 6,000 people, give or take, who really are going after this as a business. So you've got the extreme over there of the business builders, you've got the extreme of the happy product users, then you've got the ones who want to get them paid for, then you've got the volunteers. The volunteers is a group that may make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, maybe a little bit more, but they're not in the 6-figure club. And these are the people that are being overlooked by Isagenix and by us as leaders. That you have those development, leader development areas, and these are the guys that need to be focused on and loved on, and we're not doing it. So we are actually, for the first time in Isagenix history, losing that group of people to other network marketing companies. And they're even going to other marketing companies that are failing. And when PK was talking to them, he said, oh, you went to these guys? And he looked up the guy. He says, he's had 2 failed businesses already, and this is his 3rd startup. Yeah, I know that. But he is so nice. And it's because he loved on them. So that's an area that I was really surprised about and hadn't thought about. And I think that's something for you guys down the road to talk about. I think we need to talk about. So that was a big one.
All right.
Okay, get enough?
Got enough?
Okay, bye.
Wait, do any of you guys have questions for Randy about the Super Saturday in Columbus?
I do.
Sure.
So Cindy pretty much just stuck to the 3 packs. No forever pack mentioned, just, basic, premium, and value, right?
There is no forever pack in Cindy's world.
So okay, that's all I need to know.
I'll tell you why. PK Smith.
She and Sarah and some other people have trained specifically under him, and he's all about the ultimate pack. So he's the other extreme.
But it's one of those where he's done a lot of good with the ultimate pack and leading with that, and almost everybody that's been doing that, that's trained with him. And we were seeing a shift when we started doing that too, going to the value pack, which is great. If somebody's ready to jump in and take all the products and commit themselves to that, that's a great way to go. But no, it was, except on the sidelines, it was never talked about by her. They went to traditional presentation.
Okay, that's what I thought. But that value pack, I'm sure that there's a lot of people have a lot of success in that and all that, but that's such a small margin of people that I talk to, and I know that a lot of people that I know talk to that have that kind of money to invest at the start. So I don't know.
I would like you to stay to hear this. So I want to put Christy in the hot seat because she had, and I just want you to share with us how you offered it up, how they chose, and how you felt about it. Is she had 2 enrollments this week, and from what I'm understanding, you gave them the choice of the Forever Pack or started at the value pack and kind of worked your way down, and they chose the value pack over the Forever Pack. Am I understanding correctly?
Yep.
Okay, so I would love to hear how that whole thing transpired.
So we were bowling on Saturday night, and one of my friends came up to me and asked, "What are you and Gary doing? I need to do that." And I've never once had a conversation with her about Isagenix. She's never commented on anything I've ever posted. Now, so I explained a little bit to her, and then I was like, okay, I'll send you some information the next day. Before I even got home that night, she messaged me, and she was like, here's what I want. Like, I need to lose 25 pounds. I'm training for a half marathon. So I sent her the Forever Pack, the first video, and I also sent her the Isagenix video that, like, the I don't know the name of it, but
Experience Isagenix? That's the latest one?
Yes. Yeah. And then I sent her the sheet that shows like all the different packs that you can get, and then I sent her the sheet that with all the Forever packs. And I just told her, I said, there's 2 different ways that you can go about Isagenix. I said, the latest is to, start with the Forever pack, which is just focusing on the shakes and a couple other products, or you can do the whole system. I said, Gary and I do the whole system. We've been doing the whole system for 2 years, and that's what works for us. And she said, I want to do what you and Gary are doing. So
awesome.
That's how, and the other person.
So were you excited that they bought value packs, like knowing the walking out of the box and that whole aspect? Like, how were you feeling? Like, yay, I get the immediate double PIBs or the one PIB, because the other probably signed under the other. Like, where were you emotionally on the I'm excited or not so excited? Like, where are you with the whole value pack versus Forever pack?
I'm excited because I think this person in particular, I think she will do really well on the whole system. The other person I signed up was Gary, because it was finally an opportunity that we just got our tax money back. We finally had extra money. I
forgot you hadn't actually signed him up yet.
Right, I know. I've been wanting to sign him up for 2 years now. But
so that's a great way to cash in on double PIBs then too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think she'll do great on it.
Awesome. And I don't want to discourage, because I do think there is a part of meeting people where they are, that if that's where they want to start, heaven forbid, who's going to ever turn away a value pack? But I do like in the meeting and where they are in the simplicity of the value pack. And what I want to do next, although I know Randy has something to say, is I want to turn it over to Rhonda to do a shift in perspective of the 3-way calls. So what did you want to say?
That was one of the conversations that I had with Sarah was because she started Sarah Farnsworth, because she started on a value pack. That is what she enrolls almost everybody with. And she had 2 brand new people, including a 20-something sitting next to her that started on a value pack. And that's the concern of a lot of people, that people are going to enroll with whatever you enrolled with. And so they're worried that this Forever pack may not generate the immediate growth of the 300 BV and the PIB. And so that's why they're hesitant with this whole thing, is that they don't see the daily pay and they don't see the continuation of the heavy packs. And I think that's where Doug MacArthur comes in. Dave MacArthur, with his comment that, no, they may start out that way, but too often they don't continue at all. Whereas with the Forever pack, we have people that are staying on forever.
And again, we're still at 86 people that are at 0 BV, that again, so it is that meeting where they are. And I want to position or explain the phrasing I've really liked lately. And I know PK did use this kind of a same analogy, because Val said it's what stuck out to her. I guess last Saturday, PK made a comment that Isagenix is like having an Amazon account, where it's your own. How many people have Amazon Prime? And he gave a statistic, like 90 some people have Amazon Prime. This is like having your own Amazon Prime account. What I have been telling people is, especially related to the Forever Pack, like how I'm posturing it, is how many times have you gone into Costco, because I think almost out here everybody has a Costco account, and you could use any store. Sam's, the grocery store. How many times have you gone to Costco with a grocery list of 5 items and you walk out with 8 to 10 things? And of course, everybody's like, oh, for sure. Because seriously, how many times have you gone to Costco to buy 5 and you're at least buying 6 things? And I said, so the way the Forever Packs works is it's your wholesale wellness store, but it's online. And we're going to start you with these 2 products. And then we're going to look at what are some targeted health solutions you have. Maybe it's joint pain. Maybe it's pre and post workout. Maybe it's brain fog. That we can work on those solutions and show you other products that you can then use your own online wealth or health store to keep building on it. So you may come to us with 2 products, but at the end of the day, you may end up leaving with 8 or 9. And so that's the phrasing and the story I've been giving people, because again, we do want them building and eventually adding Ionix and Cleanse and figuring what their target niches are. Do they need the joint pain? Do they need everybody needing Isogenesis, obviously, but do they need some of these other products? And how can we as their coaches come alongside them to show them those targeted solutions? So that's kind of the verbiage and the posture I'm taking when I'm explaining the Forever Pack that I am using. And I do have to say, we have our playbook over here and maybe in the kitchen. This playbook, if you guys have not downloaded it, and I'm talking to the people who are watching this on the recording, the scripting is freaking amazing. That
I've used all.
Yeah, that I may do my own little tweaking with the scripting, and especially this posturing of the, how many times do you go into Costco and buy more than 2 items? But I think it's amazing. So now I want to switch gears to Rhonda, because here's what we found. And again, this is so new to all of us. We haven't seen the fruition yet. That yes, you're going to spend time walking them out of the box with a value pack, but the scripting and the duplicatability or duplication of the 3-way call, and again, that 3-way call when they buy a Forever Pack, and you can do this same 3-way call with a value pack or any of the traditional packs. So Christy, if you want to look at what the 3-way call is, and then set one up with us, I think it'd be a fantastic idea. We'll just.
I think that's important to keep the synergy of that part of it, because it shows the people the culture.
Yes.
And they really, really tend to like that.
And Ann Barante said, Ann Barante is still doing traditional packs. She started doing these 3-way calls like a year ago. So if you have not seen them, I believe it starts on page 25. So on page 25, and I highlighted things that I want to stick out, is the scripting, and obviously the part on the Isogenesis, this is where we change it up to be scripting for that pack of whatever they buy. But Rhonda, so we've done 3 or 4 3-way calls in the last 2 weeks. Rhonda, you had your first one with Cleo this week. So I want you to share what was different about selling a Forever Pack. 1, because it was your first Forever Pack. And 2, how did you like the 3-way call, or what was your thoughts compared to a walking out of the box call?
Okay, so that was my first Forever Pack, and I signed this lady up on Thursday. She got her shipment on Saturday, which I didn't even know really, but she messaged me on Saturday night and said, oh, I've already had a shake. It was really good. We're starting tomorrow. And it was just like, okay. She knows how to make the shakes. That's a good start. Of course, there is no Isogenesis, so she got 4 canisters of shakes. So I'll clarify that is what she decided to go with. And when it comes back out, she's going to put that in her basket. But so there was no call to say, do Ionix in the morning, do Accelerator, do this, do that. I didn't have to go through all of the products, which was really nice. So when we did the welcome call, making her feel part of a team, making her feel welcome, knowing there's additional support out there. And then we did touch on, the Isogenesis coming back out, and a little bit of our testimonies, and closing with the business opportunity, which she was open to. And it was coming from Jody instead of me, because I had already talked a little bit about it. So it was that reinforcement of what I had said that I think is going to be really beneficial going forward.
Right. And so because Isogenesis hasn't come out, I wrote in my binder, since you're starting on the 4 shakes, you're not getting the benefit of Isogenesis yet, but I can't wait for it to come back in stock because you're going to love the results. And then I kind of skipped forward of, some of the things people are noticing from Isogenesis. And I went into the non-scale results. And then both Rhonda and I, and this is how detailed I went, not very much, but took notes of, okay, what were Cleo's goals? She has sticky pounds, 10 to 12 pounds to lose. She has IBS gut health issues. So then what you do is you set up that 3-way call. It's supposed to be from the time they order to before they get their kit. But for some of us, when we get them in 2 days, that's a tight window. So I'll say in the first, 1 to 4 days from when they've enrolled is when you want to set up that welcome call. So like right now is prime time, Christy, to set up that welcome call. And it can be a 3-way call. It can be a Zoom call. For Rhonda, we did a Zoom link because of their internet connection and stuff. And so the other piece with that Rhonda touched on is I think us personally, and I don't know, I'm guessing as a team, we weren't offering the business opportunity quick enough. And we didn't have the verbiage, the tool of how to position it early enough. And so when you look at page 26, it talks about, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, and I'd like you to have an experience, but if this is working for you, are you willing to share it? And Randy had somebody on a 3-way call that was like, oh, no, I can't sell. He went through how this is a referral base, just like you share your favorite movie, your favorite restaurant. And then she was like, oh, well, I do have a couple people who may. And we did that same thing with Rhonda's lady. And by the time we got off the call, she's like, I do think I have a couple people in mind. And so our next step then is write them down. Like we literally said on the call, okay, while you're thinking of those people, grab a sheet of paper and write them down. Now, here's the other thing I want to remind people, because we're not used to having this, is we have that incentive of that, I don't even know what it's called, Rapid Crystal Resets or consultant.
Crystal consultant.
This crystal consultant is in the month of March. So Christy, your people who've enrolled, or your girl who enrolled, she has 2 weeks from whatever day she enrolled. So say it was Friday or Saturday. She has 2 weeks to enroll 2 people, and instead of getting a $50 bonus, she'll get a $150 bonus. So I don't know if she's looking to share this with her husband or if she has runners from a running club to share this with, but that's where this 3-way call, it opens up that conversation, and then you can even position that in the conversation of, so by the way, as you're thinking of people, there's this special during March where if you can get 2 people, help 2 people this month, we can reward you with $150. So we're not going to have this opportunity past March, at least not that we know of. So let's not forget about the Rapid Crystal Consultant while we have it for 2 more weeks. And I'm guilty of this. Like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot we had this. And so I made notes in my binder to bring up about the Rapid Crystal Consultant too. Did you get any feedback from Cleo after the call at all, Rhonda?
I did send her an image of protein snacks because we were talking about that the other night, and she thanked me for that. So I'm going to follow up again with her today and just see, how it's going. But I think she really enjoyed. I could tell from her voice on the call that she really appreciated it and liked it.
Right. And for her, she had just shared how she's a retired teacher. She may need that culture and community right now. So, that's a whole nother piece that's just separate from the physical experience, is that culture and community, because she's not in community being around teachers anymore.
Going back to touch on that, one of the things PK talked about, and most of us realize this, that $500 can save a marriage. but he said he gave the exact number. It's $432 a month.
For what? I'm sorry?
For saving a marriage.
About how money is such a
Financial
stressor.
situations that people get into in a marriage because of finances and all the stress involved with it, that $432 a month would be enough to ease that stress.
Huh.
That's it.
That's a cool statistic.
Yeah, some of the other
and
stuff.
And it's like not even that much money. It's like,
No.
really? $400?
Right.
Yeah.
But you think about how
$400?
financial stress can add to a marriage, like make it or break it. And when it's, month after month after month and building that tension and separation between a couple, I've heard that too, that the it's something like $500 would help stop 80% of divorces. It's some crazy statistic like that. So what a gift we could offer. I mean, heck, they earn the Crystal Consultant at $150 and they're, almost halfway there practically, or a quarter of it,
Their marriage is almost saved.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, it's one of those, again, there's no right or wrong answer, and we don't want to tell you have to go on the Forever Pack. But I do, even if doing the traditional packs, I think some of the duplicatability of this and the team culture and offering the opportunity earlier are tools for us to improve on and get better and better at. So Dawn, do you have any comments? I know you said you've been meeting people where they're at a lot. Have you found this binder to be a really good help for you as far as tools?
I've used the scripts a lot, and there's so many different situations. I mean, I went through all my inactive people and I had a script for them. And then I had my active people that weren't ordering 100. So I had my script for them. And then I had, all different scenarios. And then I had people that I'd added to HHP that had never joined. So I had my script for them. And slowly people are starting to come around. Like, we have another person we're going to enroll this week that had enrolled, but became inactive for some time. So they're going to re-enroll. And they're really just interested in the shakes. We did share the Forever Pack information. But I think they might just be 4 shakes a month kind of people, which is okay too. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I don't care really. The BB is really, like what Jimmy Smith says, your best asset or whatever is your 100 BB a month. So, yeah. I mean, if we can get that.
Yeah.
And
we literally have a list going. So they're estimating end March for Isogenesis coming back. I don't know what that means exactly and how close
that's not that far away.
But 2 more weeks. But we have a list literally of 12 people. Like, call me when Isogenesis is back. And so keep that list going. Keep contacting your inactive people.
So those were people that didn't want the 4 shakes. They wanted the 2 plus the Isogenesis.
Or people on that inactive list saying, call me when it's back. So a little bit of both. Oh. So again, meeting people where they are, that yes, we have a whole, and on that list are the people who started with 4 shakes. So there are people, like, we've enrolled 4 people on the Forever Pack. It's those people like, okay, we got to remember to, as soon as it's back, to let them know it's here now. So that they're on the list as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've enrolled plenty of, 30-day premiums and value packs as well, but I'm finding more lately that people, they just don't want to commit $600 and some to a value pack. Right. I just want shakes and I just want this. So they're picking and choosing different products, and we're sort of putting together our own packs anyway.
And I think the more we can meet them with their solutions, like if, brain boost or joint support, whatever it's going to be, let's put that in their wheelhouse.
I've got another lady that can hardly eat anything because she's had suffering from these gut issues. And as soon as IsaBiome came out, I contacted her and I said, I think I might have something for you. And so if I can get her on the IsaBiome plus even add in Isogenesis, I think all those things would really help. Because she can't drink the shakes. She bought a premium pack and she can't drink the shakes. So, it's just finding products that can make her feel better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. We have 7 minutes before we're kicked off because I'm still on the free time. But I want to share with you local people, so people who are watching the recording, I was at my networking group, and Christy, you're actually the perfect person to help me with this, I think. I took a picture of this, I think. I was at my networking group yesterday, so I probably can't find it, but there is a charity race coming up. I was saying how I want to, like, we tried to do that give back promotion where we together come back as a team and give back, and Julie Patterson had put together a mobile food truck that was partnered with her church, and anybody who could volunteer came and helped, and that was back in like November, December. And I said, when it starts getting to be spring, I'd like to come up with some kind of charity run. Since we're a health and wellness company, how fun would it be? And again, create that team culture. So Dawn and Rhonda, you guys both have people on your team that live near you. If you want to copy this idea and do it near you, come up with something to create more of that team culture. So this one I had never heard of. It was brought to my attention at my networking group yesterday that it is a charity run for the Pioneer Group, which for you guys that live out of state, our Pioneer Center is our adult living community for people who have special needs. And you have to put together a team to do this run. And I have not gone back. I haven't even told you about this. I haven't gone back to look at the link to find out what the qualifications, what the date, or any of that is. But it was funny because our PP&G group was talking about putting together a team as PP&G. And as they're talking, I'm like, I want to put together an Isogenics team and do this together to create some of that give back fun team culture. And hey, this is about wellness. What a great way to show up in the community and give back. So this was just an idea that I had a while ago, and I haven't really acted on it. And when they talked about it yesterday, it really spoke to my heart and went, I think this would be a great idea. So Christy, I will get you the information if you're interested in helping me coordinate it. That would be great.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what it's called. So I'll find out more about it. Anything else before we wrap up at this point?
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
You're talking about the three-way call, and I haven't, I need to contact Jen and find out if she got her box. Should I do the out of the box call first and then the three-way call?
I would.
No. No.
Well, no, because depending, she'll probably get her box today or she got it yesterday. That typically I would say do the three-way call first because she hasn't even gotten the box. But in this scenario, because she probably already got the box, I would walk her out of the box first and then say, hey, do you have time tomorrow or the next day where we could do a welcome call with my sponsor and see what she says?
But typically they do the three-way call before they get the box to set the anticipation.
Right. But we also get boxes in 2 days here. I mean, it's hard in that time period. Like,
unless it's delivered to the wrong house.
Yeah, we lost a delivery this week.
Oh,
we
no.
didn't lose it. They lost it. But
Yeah.
so yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and tomorrow, just so you kind of know, I'm busy all day. I get to help a friend of mine shop for her Mother of the Bride dress. So I'm going to be gone tomorrow, but tomorrow night I'm pretty available, and Friday day I'm available. So if, just so you know my schedule, trying to set up a three-way call, and I'm home tonight. So if you wanted to do back-to-back calls, I'm home tonight too.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that we don't necessarily think that you have to do it with a mentor. We've all been around long enough that you can use this group in here to jump in and do the mentor portion of the call. That Rhonda's been with us 5 years? 6 years, Rhonda?
Something like that.
And Dawn,
5.
yeah, Dawn, you've been there 5 years or at least.
Almost 4.
I think 4.
Yeah, so you've got enough experience that you just change the wording a little bit on who the person is. That if Jody or I are not available, rely on some of the other
and that's
people.
really what this Racing to Executive group is these are the people that are intentionally building, and I'd like to see us come together as a community. So like what Randy said, if we're not available, reach out on the Racing to Executive. Hey, I need somebody for a three-way call. Who's available? And you could even reach up to Lisa too. That's what the whole one team philosophy is. So All right. And then don't forget to if you do sell Forever Packs, and I actually want to ask her, because since you did sell a value pack, if that would count for her team incentive. I know she's trying to promote the Forever Pack, but Lisa has that March to Madness drawing in the month of March. So
I
any
think she'll
Forever
take
Packs,
anything.
Be sure and go to her Fuel to Achieve and comment on it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys later then.
All right.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.